Hello and welcome to The Take. I'm Chesley McNeil, and this is where we go above and beyond the headlines and we look at the why and how stories are impacting you and your community. We invite the experts in to share their take on today's top stories as well. We try to have just a little bit of fun. No fun today with the wet weather that has been out there pretty much all morning long. In fact, we had the rain through the overnight, and now it's starting to taper off just a little bit for this morning. You're looking at a picture of Mercedes-Benz. Can barely see it because of the clouds that are out there. It's still a bit wet on the outside. We still have some wet weather around. In fact, you take a look at the radar right now, and it does show we have, even around the perimeter, just a few light showers that's left over, scattered at best. It's stretching over into Athens and as far down to the south as Peachtree City, but that is also moving over toward the east. That's where all the heavy rain is gone, folks. And so this is what we have left over, and that will continue to be the case at least to about 10 o'clock today, and then all that will be gone. We'll be left with the clouds, though. Temperatures on the chilly side, down into the low 40s in a lot of spots. Even got some 30s out there here and there. You got 39 degrees in Lawrenceville, 39 also in Gainesville, 40s just about everywhere else. So when you go out, you need that heavy coat, okay? The heavy jacket or either a light coat, anything that's going to keep you nice and warm and dry as well. Hopefully it's water repellent. You're looking at temperatures getting up to about 51 degrees by the time we get to noon. We'll have the clouds in place. Now those clouds will gradually start to break down as we head further into the afternoon. You may get a peak of sunshine or two before it sets today. Again, 51 by 3, and then we'll watch that temperature begin to fall off. In fact, tonight it will be cold. We'll go down to around 30 degrees. This is where we're going to start off our Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, 51 degrees for the high temperature, under anywhere from partly to mostly sunny skies. More clouds move back in on Thursday. We're looking at a 20% chance for the rain, and then a 50% chance coming back to us again on Friday. Another round of rain coming our way to end out the work week. Look at that temperature, only 48 for the high temperature. Over the weekend, we'll start to dry it out once again. So we'll get that sunshine back in here, especially for Sunday. We'll get up to 56 degrees for the high temperature. Let's go over to Doug Termal now with a check on the roads.
Yeah, for sure. We continue this extra traffic coverage here into the 9 o'clock hour on The Take because it's still slippery, wet, ugly on these roads. Now, we watched a crash clear here on 285 South, the interlude right near I-20 or just below exit 46 in DeKalb. But just very slow traffic behind it here. You can see that stretching back before Memorial Drive. Of course, the rest of 285 is still in ugly rush hour mode as well. Take a look at some other parts of town. Look at these trip times here. 34 minutes downtown, 75-85 northbound to go from the south side split up to the Brookwood split. That's 166 up to 17th Street, and the right inside the perimeter, 75-85 and 400. All still very slow getting into Midtown on that wet pavement, and because it's Tuesday. Now, let's take a look with 7-inch Haynock here in our traffic impact tracker truck. This is the only truck we have dedicated to covering Atlanta traffic here, and any media outlet has dedicated just to your ride. And Seth, you've been doing the East Freeway stomp.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to give you a live look right now at the roads here. We just passed Candler Road exit coming up on it, and it is not a pretty day out here this Tuesday morning. Roads are wet, but the good news is not too many vehicles on the road on this side, but we do know on the other side, I-20 westbound, we just passed Gresham Flat Shoals, and we saw on that side that there was some type of a holdup in the HOV lane. We believe that is connected to some standing water. They're still trying to clear out at this hour. We're going to try and loop around soon and give you guys a closer look at what's happening on that side. But yeah, you definitely want to take your time when you're rolling out this AM and making your morning commutes. Back to you, Chesley. All
right, thanks a lot, Stephanie. Really appreciate that. And folks, see, still soggy on the roads, even though the rain has begun to subside somewhat. You know, we've been talking about this rain being such a nuisance, but we really need this rain, folks. We have drought conditions over us. Let's welcome in Laura Bellinger, and she is the senior service hydrologist for the National Weather Service. Welcome to the show again. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Let's talk about this rain. It has been a nuisance. We always talk about timing, and it coming in last night, but lasting until the morning commute means a mess, or at least a nuisance for a lot of folks. It hasn't been severe, but it's something that we need, right?
It's definitely something that we need. After having such a dry fall, any amount of rainfall is going to be significant for us at this time, and we just hope that it doesn't all come at once.
Yeah, now, I would consider this, I guess, a nice soaking rain. Because it started yesterday and lasting at least in the morning, it was a good soaking rain for us. Is that the type that we need? Is that what we're looking for when it comes to rain? Because I guess here lately we've had those little quick movers come through and give us just a little bit and go out.
Yeah, we really do need the soaking rain. We're talking anywhere between a quarter of an inch to about an inch. That would be a healthy amount of rainfall for us to get at any given time. When you start getting more than an inch and a half, 2 inches over a short amount of time, that's when we start seeing the ponding water sticking around, the flash flooding potential go up. And so we really don't want to see those kind of amounts. We really want to stick it close to that 1 inch total in about a 24-hour period or so right now.
Laura, where do we sit right now as far as how far are we behind as far as trying to catch up to where we should be for this time of year?
Well, actually, we're seeing some improvement across the Atlanta metro area. We're still a couple inches behind when you look at the last 3 months. We're not quite so bad as Columbus and Macon. When you look at their last 3-month period, they're down 5 inches, 8 inches just to get us back to normal. That's not even above normal. So we are much better in the metro Atlanta area. We're still down maybe 3 or 4 inches that we could make up very quickly. On the whole, to be improved out of drought conditions, you really need about 3 consecutive months of above normal rainfall. Again, every little bit counts.
Yeah. Down in the southern portions of the state, we have what you would call a exceptional drought. And that looks like it's growing a little bit. Surrounding that, of course, is extreme drought. They're worse off than we are, correct?
That's definitely correct. When you look at the 4 levels of drought, they're in the very worst. And you mentioned it, it's D4 exceptional drought. Unfortunately, even with some meaningful rainfall across central Georgia over the last week or so, including what we got last night, it's possible we could still see drought conditions expand up into that area. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that D3 extreme drought nose into closer to Columbus and Macon by Thursday when that map comes out.
Wow. So you would suspect that, all this rain that we've had that would certainly put a dent in it, but it takes time, right? People don't understand that. Talk about that.
Absolutely. It does take time. And when you look at the long-term impacts from this amount of time without meaningful rainfall, agriculture suffers, the economy in those areas suffer. And we're also seeing the hydrology environment suffer. The stream flows down in those areas are already low. And if we don't get enough rainfall through the winter months, that just leaves them primed for more significant impacts as we get into the spring months when things leaf back out again and begin to grow. So we're hoping it doesn't get that far. We are expecting to see some improvement, especially into the metro area through the winter months.
Yeah, I got about 10 seconds left with you. I know you're always looking ahead. Friday looks like another day of rain. Will it be as much as we've had with this one or less?
It looks like the metro Atlanta area could see maybe close to an inch of rain Friday and Saturday. Central Georgia could see maybe 2 inches. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for that they'll start to see that drought improvement.
All right, sounds good. Laura Belanger, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're back right after this. And about phase from the White House, it now confirms the U.S. military did strike an alleged drug boat more than once off the coast of Venezuela, but says the defense secretary did not make that order. Here with the latest now is NBC's Alice Barr in Washington, D.C. And Alice, President Trump huddled with his national security team in the Oval Office last night to talk about Venezuela and the next steps. Walk us through how the administration now made this pivot.
Yeah, this has changed pretty dramatically since the last time that we spoke yesterday. And it really came about in no small part because one of my colleagues here at NBC News, Gabe Gutierrez, asked Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, in the briefing room, whether the position of the White House is that the second strike did not happen at all, or whether they are saying that the second strike did happen on this alleged drug smuggling boat back in September off Venezuela, but that it was not Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth who ordered the strike, and she said it was the latter. So that was confirmation that there was what's known as a double tap, and that's a very controversial thing in the rules of war. You are supposed to, engage with enemy combatants when they pose an imminent threat. And so there are questions about whether people who have been incapacitated by a first strike could be in a position to be an imminent threat, and therefore, if targeting them after that first strike, if that rises to the level of a war crime. Now, certainly the White House is not saying that they think this is anything like a war crime, but they are saying that it was in fact Admiral Frank Bradley, not Defense Secretary Hegseth, who ordered the second hit. And Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said, quote, Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law. He directed the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat of narco-terrorists to the United States was completely eliminated. Admiral Bradley is overseeing a ramped-up U.S. military presence in the Caribbean that's part of the administration's fight against drug traffickers. President Trump has declared that drug cartels are foreign terrorist organizations and that justifies these strikes.
Yeah. Yesterday, you also talked to us about how the Congress is already looking into hearings on Venezuela on that situation. How does this new wrinkle factor into all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not doing anything to slow down that push because there's now this acknowledgement that there was, again, a so-called double tap and the possibility of people who were already incapacitated then being struck, survivors who were. And we've already heard from some of the top members of the House and Senate Armed Services Committees, and the Republican leader of the Senate Armed Services Committee said that classified oversight hearings could begin as soon as this week. He said in that setting, those lawmakers would be able to see videos, see what the orders actually were, and get a lot more insight and information here. He is promising a bipartisan push to get to the facts.
Got it. All right. So with new questions now popping up about the differing treatment, the Venezuelan leader getting compared to the former president of Honduras, a convicted drug trafficker there. Catch us up on what that's all about.
Yeah, this is another sort of branch of this whole story, is that President Trump has been accusing Nicolas Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, of being in coordination with drug traffickers in that country and, you know, being part of the drug trade, essentially. And that is part of why he's been cracking down so hard on Venezuela and raising the pressure so much there. But then you have this separate instance where Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former president of Honduras, who was extradited to the U.S., prosecutors said he allowed cocaine to flow into the U.S. and even accepted a $1 million bribe from the notorious drug kingpin El Chapo. The White House has defended now the pardon that President Trump is offering to Hernandez, saying that he was set up and over-prosecuted by the Biden administration. And we should note that when his trial happened in 2022, during Biden's term, the investigation actually began during the first Trump administration. Jesse?
All right. Alice, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Take care. Plenty of stories for you coming up. This is The Take. We're back right after this. We are looking at Northside Hospital. This is our camera on Northside Hospital, but you can see it's pretty soggy on the outside. Even though the rain has settled down, if you will, it's still very wet. We had very heavy rain through the overnight. That rain has begun to push out, and so we'll continue to see these isolated showers at least through about 10 or 11 o'clock, and then we'll get a little bit better from there. All right, a last-minute move by the U.S. Department of Education is sending shockwaves through college campuses and family budgets. A new reclassification of degree categories could change financial aid, program funding, and even the value of certain majors. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this with Dr. Sanaya Lewis, a financial expert, widely known as the student loan doctor. Hey, Doc, welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty good. All right, what's the very first thing that students and parents need to know about this reclassification?
So this is a big change from the Department of Education. It's narrowing down its definition of a professional degree. So this is going to really affect those that want to study and are currently studying in healthcare, education, social work, business, and other graduate fields. So it's a really big change that's going to go into effect of July 2026.
All right, for students already enrolled, could their financial aid packages change this semester or even next year?
Well, you have to think about it. So what's changing is the overall amount that you're able to borrow for a federal student loan. So limits were upward of $200,000 prior if you were going to pursue a graduate degree in this field, but now they're being lowered to $100,000. So if someone is currently pursuing a master's, for example, in this field, they're definitely going to receive a shockwave that they may not even have now enough money to finish school.
So what made this change happen? I mean, why the move so suddenly, so abruptly?
So the federal government said that they are reevaluating programs which should qualify or should not qualify for a higher borrowing limit. And so for years, graduate borrowers have been taking on extremely high debt with limited oversight in terms of the outcomes, in terms of graduation and being able to pay. And so this administration is hoping to realign borrowers with their earning potential. And that is what is being debated right now.
So should high school seniors do something differently? Should they pick a new major come wintertime? I mean, what should they do?
Yeah, for future borrowers, this is going to mean that there's going to be a change in significant planning in terms of in forecasting what they want to do in terms of profession. So the bachelor's level is being untouched. But when you think about certain fields, you know that you need a master's or a doctoral level to earn the certain income you are intending to earn. This also can close out some students from disproportionately affected students, such as minorities and women, from being able to pursue a master's level degree that highly rely on student loans.
Is there an example out there that you could give us of something that would be reclassified, maybe in the area of
so
business?
for example,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, business is actually one of them. The MBA program is definitely is a part of this reclassification. I know that students, particularly in the nursing field right now is in an uproar over this because a master's in nursing, you do need more than $100,000. And so this is going to affect those that do not have money outside of the student loan system to pay for school. When you get to the master's level and the doctoral level, a lot of students rely on the federal borrowing limits to achieve their degree. But now with it being cut by more than half, people may not be able to pursue beyond a bachelor's.
And this change is happening like now, right?
As of July, so there are, this could be revised. This is a part of the change of the One Big Beautiful Bill for July. The changes that you are hearing about, they're going to all take place as of July 1st. So there could be a chance, an opportunity to redo this. That's fingers crossed for people that are going to be affected by this most.
Yeah. All right. So finally, if you're a student, I got 30 seconds left here. If you're a student confused or worried, what's the one step that you want them to make before the week ends?
Well, I want them to log into studentaid.gov and I want them to check their borrowing limit. A lot of people don't know what they have already borrowed. And then the second part is talk to your school, talk to your current field there and see if they have any scholarships or grants available for you so that you can make a good plan for 2026 and beyond.
All right. Doc Lewis, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate your insight today.
Thank you.
All right. Plenty more ahead, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is The Take, and we're back right after this. Welcome back to the show. Right now, it may seem to be like all fun and festive with holiday shoppers seemingly embracing the buy now, pay later approach, but your wallet may have a word with you next month. Like, hey, fill me back up. Let's figure it all out and what the case is with friend of the show, consumer expert Morgan Ward. Morgan, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Chesley. How are you?
All right. What kind of purchases are we seeing most often with this buy now, pay later kind of a deal?
Well, I mean, we're doing a lot of holiday shopping using buy now, pay later. This is actually a surge in that kind of shopping and the use of these right now because people are still trying to have a sort of normalized holiday even when budgets are tight.
What should shoppers watch out for when it seems like this thing or what they could overspend on or overtax themselves on?
You know, it's hard because you're buying these things in little increments. So it feels like, oh, I'll just pay $18 a month or $18 every 2 weeks and it won't be that much. The problem is that it all rolls up into really a huge payment at the end. And then in January, we're hit with all of the normal payments we have, the travel payments that we have to make from travel we did last month, and then these buy now, pay later. So right now, I think that the focus should be sort of trying to figure out how to budget for things rather than pay on credit. Yeah. That's what most people should be thinking about.
Budget. Absolutely. One of the things we're seeing shoppers ask is, are those deals real? Why are shoppers losing trust in holiday discounts?
Because we see holiday discounts and discounts constantly. Everything is 40% off, or, you know, we're having a 10% off sale, or give me your email and I will give you 15% off. So we're constantly inundated with sales. And what it makes people question is whether those original prices were even real, because are we getting anchored on prices that were never going to be charged in the first place? So it's really stressing people out in that way.
Yeah, I would be stressed out by that as well. Do you see more cutbacks, or you see doubling down on some of these deals?
I see more and more deals around the holidays, but I also see people trying to keep track of what the original prices are. There are at least 2 different apps that do it. One's called Camel, another one's called Keepa. And what it does is it allows you to figure out what the original price was so that you aren't going to be fooled in that way.
I see. All right. Seems like our downtime is becoming shopping time, especially now that we're already in December. We don't have much time. The crunch is on, right? And our carts are knowing that. How quickly can these micro purchases add up without people realizing it?
Oh, so fast, because we're shopping all the time. It's our ambient shopping era kind of time. Everything says buy now. Amazon has mastered what they call ambient pay. Our credit cards are attached to every single, common shopping platform. And, throughout the day, you can sort of pick something up here or there. We used to make these planned shopping excursions where we knew what we were going to buy, but now we're just on our phones and something I love just popped up, because everything is algorithms.
Gotta get it. I gotta get it before it goes, right? Any practical steps the viewers can take to stay intentional when everything's just that click away?
Yeah. One is plan trips to buy rather than getting everything delivered or buying here and there, one thing at a time. Also, think about what you're buying when you're doing it. So that would be focused buying when you're out purchasing stuff. And secondly is just have your credit card not attached to everything, because what you want to do is have that extra moment between wanting something and purchasing it. And if you disconnect your credit card, you can have that extra second before you purchase.
Sounds good. Extra large for me, Morgan. Just when you're out and you're thinking about it, or on your phone thinking about it, just extra large. That's me. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. This is The Take. We're back right after this. Welcome back to the show. We're saying rain, go away. Come again another day, and it will. It will. Wow, look at this look. You can't even see what's below that. This is our DeKalb County shot here. Normally we see the city in the distance there, and the cloud cover, low clouds over our camera. Impacting the area. That low-level cloudiness is what we're going to see for much of the day today, even though the rain will subside, right? Our rain already starting to come to an end, as you can see, in a lot of spots. Now, some isolated showers are still left over. The heavy rain has pulled out, has pushed over toward the east of our area, so we don't have to worry about any heavy rain any longer, just these light isolated showers around. I think that's going to last for another about 45 minutes or so before it's all said and done. We will be left with that low-level cloudiness that you see, and so it's not going to be the prettiest of days, of course. That will gradually clear out. It's going to take some time to mix those clouds out, but eventually that will happen. In fact, through the overnight, we're expecting to see some fair skies around. Even over toward the metro area right now, you see here's the perimeter here, where it appears as though we're starting to see some clearing taking place. We still have the clouds in place, and so these are higher clouds that are breaking up. That low-level cloudiness still around the area, and again some rain coming out of those clouds. It's soggy even where you don't have the rain. Places back like Douglasville, over Douglas County, no rain right now, but where we've had that heavy rain through the overnight, your roadways are still wet. So if you're traveling along I-20, be careful, slow it down. No doubt water kicking up on you as you're driving around. Back off to the west, we still have a few isolated showers. Those will move through, and then you can see back behind it clearing that will be taking place, or drying that will take place, and the winds start to shift on us as well. We'll have a northwest wind coming in, and that helps to dry us out as well. The sun not going to do that, okay? We've seen as much as an inch so far as the rainfall goes. We see this lighter blue, so just to the north of the Athens area. Right in here, this is where we've been seeing about an inch of rainfall. When you get into that blue, you're talking about a little less than an inch. And once you get into the green, you're talking about a half an inch or less, okay? And so that's how it's been for us. Heaviest rain has been down to the south. You can see down toward the Macon area, where we've been seeing a little bit, as far as the totals, a little bit higher. Temperatures hanging out in the 40s. That's where we've been. And I knew that we'd bottom out right around 44 degrees or so, and now we'll start to see that temperature go up. Still 39 degrees right now over into Lawrenceville, but those temperatures will start to rise, not all that much. again, not a whole lot in the way of sunshine to help to heat us up. So temperatures will only be in the low 50s. I'm thinking right around that for an afternoon high. You see back behind us, not much going on. In fact, high pressure will be building in. So not only for today or later on this afternoon we'll be dry again tomorrow. We'll get some sunshine back into the forecast area before the next system comes in, unfortunately, and brings a little better chance for some rain. 20% chance on Thursday. I think we'll see the clouds increase for the most part. 20% chance is a low threat, but it goes up on Friday. 50% chance for the rain to be around the area. I think it starts in the morning. Will be with us off and on. Could linger into Saturday morning. And then by the afternoon, we'll begin to clear that out, and it'll wind up being a pretty decent weekend for us. Okay, but this shows the air or the atmosphere over us and how it dries out later on tonight. Because of the drying that will take place and those winds starting to die down, we'll watch that temperature escape out into the atmosphere, and so we're going to start off in below freezing, right around 30 degrees starting off. We get the sunshine on Wednesday, Thursday, those clouds start to build back in, and there it is. Friday, you see that moisture will be with us, and then as we head into the weekend, that's where the drier air will start to move back into the forecast area, and our temperatures will modify as well. We're going to stay below average through the rest of the week, but then those temperatures will start to warm up as we head into the upcoming weekend. Let's get a check on the roads. They were miserable all morning long. Doug has the latest.
I wouldn't say miserable now, all right, but certainly slow around town. In fact, the concentration of the heaviest volume is in the downtown area. It's seen a lot of traffic on 285. And a new crash on 285. This is the eastbound 285 inner loop leaving Cobb County heading to Sandy Springs. In fact, it just cleared out of the right lane here around Powers Ferry Road. Kind of an ephemeral situation. Traffic was slow behind it. We also saw here unit State Patrol clear a crash out of the way on 75 South here around the South 120 loop. So what's it done to the trip time out of Marietta on 75 South? Only 12 minutes Bear Parkway to 285. Still very heavy out of Alpharetta. It's improved, but 31 minutes 400 South from Windward Parkway to the perimeter. 22 minutes 85 South. 316 to 285. We've had for over 3 hours now standing water on I-20 this morning, and that's why we bring in our traffic impact tracker and reporter Stefanich Haynock in my seat this morning. Stefanich, what's the latest with this clogged drain on I-20?
Yeah, Doug, in the hot seat, we're keeping our eyes now at what's happening just across the way from us. We're on I-20 westbound. You see some crews here. According to GDOT, they are still working on this standing water we've been reporting on all morning long. They're trying to drain this clogged up situation. We know that the HOV lane, you can see those cones right there, blocked off right here at Gresham Road. So we're going to stay parked here for a little while, but efforts still going. But the good news is that traffic is flowing with no issue out this way. Back to you, Chesley. All
right, Stephanie, thanks so much. Really appreciate you, Doug, as well. One of Georgia's most popular long-distance trail networks has taken another major step forward. A new segment of the Silver Comet connector is now open, part of a long-term plan to link neighborhoods, expand safe mobility, and ultimately bring the trail straight into the heart of downtown Atlanta. Joining us now is one of the leaders behind the project, Solomon Cavanis, Commissioner for the Atlanta Department of Transportation. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Good morning, 11Alive community. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know, for our viewers who haven't seen this yet, what exactly does this new segment add to the Silver Comet connector?
Yeah, so our Silver Comet connector is part of the trail network within Atlanta that connects MacArthur Boulevard from Chattahoochee Avenue over to the Whetstone Trail. So it's about a half-mile segment that connects the community to an active lifestyle and trail access.
So why was this latest stretch to open such an important link in the larger trail network?
Yeah, so this is just an example of what's possible in the city of Atlanta and the greater Atlanta community. We're laser focused on building out our trails network throughout the city. And eventually, by 2027, we want to be able to connect downtown to the Chattahoochee River. Silver Comet Trail extends all the way to Alabama. So just imagine being able to get from downtown Atlanta out to Alabama by way of these connections. And these trail extensions are a great opportunity to connect communities.
Yeah. Want to know if you got any feedback, and if you got feedback from neighbors and businesses, what are they saying?
Oh, everyone's loving the trails. Anytime you put pavement down to get folks off the roadways, it's a plus. It brings value to the communities, improves the quality of life. But our partnership with the Path Foundation has really taken transportation and options to the next level. And we're really excited about Atlanta's futures with trails.
Yeah, we've seen the trail add investment and foot traffic to other parts of the city. How might this connect or spark economic activity here?
Yeah, so it's no secret in Atlanta that trails has really made a difference in our quality of life. So I moved here from New Jersey and discovered all the trails. We have about 85 miles of trails within Atlanta. And my family takes full advantage. My little girls love to get on their scooters and bikes and ride up and down the trails. But, you know, the example that everyone around the world recognizes is the Beltline Trail. And but we don't stop there. We're looking at expanding trails throughout the city so that everyone in Atlanta has a 10-minute walk or ride to a trail anywhere within the city. So we recognize the economic impact, the spur of activity, but it also connects communities, and that's what Atlanta's all about.
Are additional phases ready for funding, or is it more investment needed before you can continue to work?
Yeah, so we have 2 trails currently being constructed to expand the Comet Trail, and we have 34 additional trails expected by year 2035. So there's substantial investment going into trails and full support by our communities from all the feedback we've gotten.
Anything special that we need to be looking out for on the trails? Anything or that's coming?
Yeah, so an active lifestyle is very important as we recognize that our populations are maturing. And the trails give us an option other than driving and, what we're traditionally used to. So we're looking forward to expanding our trails. We should have about 91 miles of trails by 2027. And our work with the Path Foundation and this administration to build a city built for the future is what ATL DOT is all about. And I just will mention that our Vision Zero program is about bringing fatalities and serious injuries due to crashes down to 0 by the year 2040. So this is a great contribution to that goal. All
right, Solomon Cavanagh, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for your insight today as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a great rainy day.
Do the same. All right. Much more stories for you coming up right after the break, folks. We're back right after this. Welcome back to the show. You know, it was a rough start to December for Wall Street as the market stumbled out of the gate into negative territory. Joining us now, CNN's Maribel Aber from the NASDAQ market site in New York. Good morning to you, Maribel.
Hey, good morning, Chesley.
How are we looking for the start of day 2 for the month?
It's looking better, Chesley. I mean, stocks being boosted by big tech and Bitcoin gains as markets began to recover from yesterday's lackluster start to the month. Traders are now looking toward next week's Federal Reserve meeting with the expectation interest rates will see another cut to close out the year. Investors are also watching how holiday spending holds up since strong consumer demand could keep inflation pressures in the mix. And with December trading volumes running light, you know, even these modest moves in tech and crypto are having an outsized impact on the broader market. And speaking of, I'm seeing now a mixed board here at NASDAQ. Up. Now at NASDAQ, we're up about 190. The Dow unchanged, as you see there, and the S&P up 22 points.
I like it when you say up. I like that. I like the sound of up. Got a showdown that could rewrite who pays at the checkout. Talk to us about this Costco suing the government issue.
Well, wholesale giant Costco suing the Trump administration for a full refund of new tariffs it paid this year. The suit filed Friday seeks to stop tariffs from continuing to be assessed while the Supreme Court case is underway. Costco says it risks losing the money it has already paid to cover the tariffs, even if it's ruled President Trump did not have the authority to impose the duties. A looming December 15th deadline could rule out refunds despite any ruling from the High Court. The wholesaler joins dozens of other companies that have filed similar lawsuits. So it's wait and see, Chesley.
We will be waiting and seeing. All right. Is this true? Are we getting a break at the pumps? Is gas back under $3?
Well, drivers. Yeah, you know, they're getting some relief at the pump, Chesley. The average price of gas is now below $3 per gallon. It's the lowest level in more than 4 years, Chesley, and the drop in price is due to strong refinery output, lower crude oil prices, and softer seasonal demand. Prices have fallen in all 50 states, which is rare, and in some states, including Oklahoma, Colorado, and Texas, drivers are even seeing gas dip below $2 per gallon. Now, Atlanta, gas is about $2.85 per gallon, according to AAA, just a few cents more than the Georgia average of $2.81, Chesley.
Wow. Okay, like that. More good news. All right, so the holiday sales frenzy is officially rolling, and looks like spending is off to a heavy start.
It is. Americans are spending in force this holiday season, Chesley, but are getting less for their money. Black Friday online shopping was up 3% this year, largely driven by a 7% jump in average selling price, according to Salesforce. Here's the thing. Order volume, which measures how much was purchased in a certain time frame, that actually fell 1% compared to Black Friday 2024, sending the average transaction size down 2%. Cyber Monday sales were projected to hit $13.4 billion in the U.S., up 4% from last year. Overall, prices during Cyber Week have risen 7% on average, higher than the 5% jump last year. Tariffs likely played a role in part, since rising costs are hitting popular categories like toys, like clothes, and electronics. As consumers turned more cautious heading into the holiday season, retailers rolled out deeper discounts to entice shoppers. They got me, Chesley. Toilet paper on Cyber Monday was on sale.
Wow, I missed that one.
You did.
Yeah.
And this would have been the gift during COVID times.
Yes. It would have, man, just in case we go back into a pandemic or something. Thanks a lot, Maribel. Really appreciate it.
I got you.
All right, take care.
You got it.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. This is The Take. We're back right after this. Welcome back to the show. The holidays kicking off. Google is rolling out a new AI tool to help you spruce up those family photos before they hit the mailbox, like removing sunglasses or dropping you in a winter wonderland. It can do all that. It can be done with just a few clicks. Joining us now is a Google Trends expert, Jennifer Jones, to break it all down for us and how all this new, exciting technology works. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Hey, Chesley, I'm glad to be here. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, what is Google rolling out today as far as an update to headline the holidays?
Yes, you were right. It is exciting. So now you can get your holiday photos ready with new AI features from Google. And you can use Nano Banana, which is Google's viral image editing tool, directly in Google Photos.
Now, how is AI changing the way people edit and share these photos?
Well, you can do more with AI. You can edit, you can create, and you can even search your photos and natural language better with AI. And that's just in time to get those holiday pics spruced up. As you mentioned, you can ask your Google Photos with Nano Banana to remove a subject's sunglasses or a hat from a photo that you want to give as a gift or put on that card. You can request that it's painted with a new festive style, like you said, a winter holiday card, or you could even say, make it look like a professional photo shoot. And there's all kinds of other AI features in Google Photos that can help you edit in both Android and in iOS.
And it's coming out today?
Well, it actually came out earlier this month,
okay.
But stay tuned because keep an eye on our AI templates. We always have fun news to announce, especially around the holiday season.
Can you give us a little sneak peek of what's coming?
I wish I could. I sure wish I could. But know that it's always moving at lightning fast pace, and there's something always fun that's going to be happening and help you with your AI, have you help enhance your photos.
There may be some people out there that are a little bit afraid of artificial intelligence. How easy is this program to work?
It's extremely easy. So we have had Google Photos has been around forever, and these are really just enhancements to it. It's super. You just go into the tool and you can just follow the prompts. You can go to the Help Me Edit option and simply write out your requests in natural language to have personalized edits.
Mm-hmm. And so you just like using any AI tool, you just write it out and it just does it?
It does.
Wow. See, I'm afraid of it. I'm a little afraid.
Don't be afraid. It's so simple. I think that people are afraid of what's coming, but it's already here. It's happening in real time, and it's got to be user friendly so people can incorporate it into part of their daily lives.
I would imagine people are adding Santa hats now. What's some of the most popular edits that you're seeing out there?
Yeah, lots of fun holiday sweaters for sure. So whatever winter celebration that you have at the end of the year, there's a festive sweater template, there's a winter wonderland template, anything that you want, you can make it happen.
Is there anything that users need to know about privacy with these AI edits?
Yeah, use your best sense. We always recommend that these tools are for 18 and up, but they do, if you're using the product, you have those photos already in there and you can pull from that. And Google is very serious about privacy. So just make sure that you opt in where you want to and follow the settings if you are a little more nervous about that kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds like it's meant to be more fun than anything else. Is this the start of a broader push to bring more creativity to AI Google Photos?
Well, it's already here. It's not the start. We're already doing it. So, Ask Photos is a powerful tool that helps you find your photos easily. It helps you search your gallery easily, and things are just going to keep getting better and better.
What have you done, Jennifer? I know you've played with this thing. What have you done?
I have. So I have kids, and they're a little bit of course, when it comes to having their photo taken. So I've definitely had a perfect photo with one of them with their eyes closed or half closed. So I've just made those edits right there in Google Photos, and it's simple enough to send off and print.
Wow, that is amazing and good technology. Okay, all right, great. I'm looking forward to getting on and playing with it myself.
I think you should.
Yeah, I had an ugly sweater. I'll add an ugly sweater or something to my outfit or something like that.
One for you and everybody at the station.
You got it. Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us and appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Chesley.
All right, take care. All right. Plenty more stories for you coming up after the break, folks. We're not done yet. We'll be back right after this. Well, we are looking at the rain ending, at least for today. In fact, our 11Alive weather impact alert is gone, folks. We'll have drying sky taking place for the rest of the afternoon. Get some sunshine back in here for your Wednesday. We're looking at 51 degrees for your afternoon high temperature for your Wednesday. And then the clouds will come back to us again on Thursday. It's a very slight chance that we can see an isolated shower or two. You're looking at a 50% chance by Friday, so that's going to be a soggy day for us. That's our Canathon day, folks, by the way. But we're there, like the mailman. Rain, shine, sleet, snow. We don't have to worry about that part. But it will be on the cool side. 48 degrees will be the afternoon high temperature. Come on by, drop off those cans and your donations. We'll be there to receive them from you. 53 degrees on Saturday. That rain should be ending if we have any at all in the early morning on Saturday, and then we'll clear it out for Sunday. Get the sunshine back into the forecast area. All right, my final take. Yep, we are looking at the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season ending on Sunday, and it was one for the record books. Probably not in the way that many expect. A lot of people are calling this a quiet season because for the first time in a decade, no hurricanes made landfall in the United States. Now, NOAA had forecast a 60% chance of above average season with 13 to 19 named storms in the Atlantic Basin. It predicted 6 to 10 hurricanes, 3 to 5 major hurricanes. The season wound up with 13 named storms and 5 hurricanes, but 4 of them were major hurricanes. That's 1 less named storm and fewer hurricanes than average, but 1 more major than average and slightly more average cyclonic energy in the Atlantic Basin. There are plenty of records with this particular season that was produced, like the second most Category 5 storms in modern history. The storms wound up being more, we had more major hurricanes, and we had more days, hurricane days than average. By the way, we're only 5 months away from the first hurricane forecast for 2026. That's planned for April 9th. Folks. Yeah, this one, we didn't really hear a lot about hurricanes until the very end, right? You remember Melissa that ran through Jamaica, strongest hurricane to ever hit that region, right? One of the strongest as far as its power goes. And so that was the last one of the season. We made it all the way down to M, and it was pretty quiet because a lot of them stayed out to sea. And we had a lot of tropical storms as well. Most of the hurricanes that formed became major hurricanes. So it gives us a sign that there could be more powerful things to come. So make sure you're pay close attention to the forecast, folks, especially the one that comes out from Colorado State, the April 9th. That will come out first. Again, 5 months away, only 5 months away from that. Wow, a lot to look forward to as far as our weather goes, and it's getting bigger and stronger. If you want to look forward to that. Have a great day, folks. We got much more for you coming up right here on 11 Live Plus. Stay tuned for the very latest on your weather, traffic, and the latest news.